what's up? It's Richie here with Statifying Football. This is Week 4 NFL, the Sunday games and the Monday night game. Starting with the Washington football team and the Atlanta Falcons. Washington lost to the Bills 43 to 21 actually. Taylor Heinicke, 212 passing, 2 touchdowns, two picks plus 1 rushing. They only had 290 yards of offense and 3 turnovers. Atlanta beat a bad Giants team 17-14. Matt Ryan, 243 passing and 2 touchdowns. I actually think Washington, they will bounce back from this and they will beat Atlanta. I'm still not sold on Atlanta, and I think Washington is still kind of a scary team to play. All right, the Houston Texans and the Bills. Houston lost to Carolina 24-9. Davis Mills, for a rookie, wasn't bad. 168 passing and a touchdown. Brandon Cooks had 9 catches, 112. They only had 193 yards of offense. They did have 3 sacks in that game. Bills did what they wanted against Washington, 43-21. Josh Allen, 358 passing, 4 touchdown passes, and 1 rushing. They had 481 total yards and forced 3 turnovers there. And I think the Bills should be able to beat the Texans pretty easily. All right, Detroit and Chicago. Detroit almost beat Baltimore. They lost on a 66-yard field goal, 19-17. Jared Goff, 270 passing. Defensively, they had 4 sacks. Chicago was horrible against Cleveland. They lost 26-6. Justin Fields, 6 of 20, 68 yards. They had 47 total yards and allowed, I think, 8 or 9 sacks in that game. They did have 5 sacks themselves, but I think Detroit I think Goff is looking pretty decent with Detroit, and I think they'll have a little bit. It'll be kind of a low-scoring game, but I can see Detroit winning like 20-10 or something. All right, the Carolina Panthers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is coming off a 41-21 victory against the Eagles. Dak Prescott, 238 passing, 3 touchdowns in that one. And they had a pick 6 in that game. Carolina had a nice win against Houston, 24-9. Sam Darnold, 304 passing, 2 rushing touchdowns. DJ Moore, 8 catches, 126. 407 yards of offense. Defensively, only allowed 193 yards and 4 sacks. I think Dallas is a really good team this year. I think they keep it rolling, and I think they get a victory over the Carolina Panthers. All right, the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. Indianapolis lost to Tennessee 25-16. Carson Wentz only passed for 194. Defensively, they forced 3 turnovers. Miami came back and almost beat Las Vegas. They lost to the Vegas Raiders. They lost in overtime 31-28. Jacoby Brissett, 215 passing plus 37 rushing yards and a touchdown. Defensively, they had 3 sacks and had an interception return for a touchdown. I think Miami bounces back, and I think, especially if Brissett plays, I think they get a victory over Indianapolis. All right, a pretty big game between Cleveland and Minnesota. Cleveland, they beat Chicago 26-6. Baker Mayfield, 246, 1 touchdown, had 418 total yards, but really their defense only allowed 47 total yards, had 9 sacks in that game. Myles Garrett had 4.5 sacks all by himself. Minnesota, they had a really nice win against Seattle, 30-17. Kirk Cousins, 323 passing, 3 touchdowns. Alexander Madison ran for 112. Jefferson had 9 catches, 118 and a touchdown. They had 453 yards of offense there. This could be a pretty fun game going back and forth, but I'm actually going to give Minnesota the win there. All right, the Giants in New Orleans. Giants, they lost in a close game to Atlanta 17-14. Daniel Jones, 266 passing and 39 rushing yards. Defensively, they did have 3 sacks. New Orleans, they had a win against New England 28-13. Winston was 128 and 2 touchdowns. It was their defense that won. They had 3 turnovers and had an interception return for a touchdown. I do think New Orleans defense is overall good. And if Jameis doesn't make the mistakes, which it's a roller coaster with Jameis, who knows? But I do think New Orleans should be able to beat the Giants. All right, the Tennessee Titans and the New York Jets. Tennessee beat Indianapolis 25-16. Ryan Tannehill, 197, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, plus 56 rushing. Derrick Henry ran for 113. They turned it over 3 times. I'm not sure if this is going to matter. The Jets kind of really suck. They lost to Denver 26-0. Zach Wilson was terrible again, 160 and 2 interceptions. They only had 162 yards of offense, and I think Tennessee should win that one. KC lost a fun game against the Los Angeles Chargers, 30-24. Pat Mahomes, 260 passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, and 45 rushing. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 100 rushing yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Travis Kelce, 7 catches, 104. They put up 437 yards of offense. They turned over 4 times, and that's what lost that game. The Eagles lost 41-21 to the Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Hurts, 326 passing, 2 touchdowns and a pick, plus 35 rushing yards. In that one, defensively, they did have 4 sacks in that game, but just weren't able to keep up with the Dallas Cowboys. This could be a pretty high-scoring, a fun game, but I think Kansas City bounces back and gets the victory. All right, a huge game in the NFC West. The Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. Arizona beat Jacksonville 31-19. Kyler Murray, 316 passing, 1 pick, plus 1 rushing touchdown. AJ Green, 5 catches, 112 yards. Christian Kirk, 7 catches, 104. There defensively, they forced 4 turnovers and had an interception return for a touchdown. The Rams had a nice win against the depleted Tampa Bay team, 34-24. Matt Stafford looked great though, 343, 4 touchdowns. Deshaun Jackson, 3 catches, 120 yards and a touchdown. Defensively, they had 3 sacks. This could be a pretty high-scoring game there. I'm going to say the Rams win. As a Bucs fan, I want them to lose to the Cardinals, but the Rams look really good. They both look really good. This will come down probably to a field goal at the end, but I'm going to say the Rams win. All right, Seattle and San Francisco, another big NFC game. Seattle lost to Minnesota 30-17. Russell Wilson, 298 with a touchdown. DK Metcalf, 6 catches, 107 and a touchdown. San Francisco lost on a close game to 30-28 to Green Bay. Garoppolo, 257, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Seeing what Minnesota is able to do defensively against Seattle, I think the 49ers might bounce back here and get a close win against a good Seattle team, but it'll come. San Francisco's picked by 3, and I think that's about right. All right, Baltimore and Denver. This is actually a pretty big game in the AFC. Baltimore's 2-1. The Broncos are 3-0. Baltimore, they had a miracle win against Detroit. They converted a 4th and 19 with about 20 seconds left, and then Justin Tuck set an NFL record with a 66-yard game-winning field goal. Lamar Jackson passed for 287 and a touchdown, a pick, and ran for 58 yards. Mark Andrews, 5 catches, 109 there. Denver shut out the Jets 26-0. Teddy Bridgewater's 235 passing and 24 rushing. They only allowed 162 yards and had 5 sacks in that game. They haven't faced anybody like Lamar Jackson yet. This will be a really close game. Denver's defense, I think, is for real, but I'm going to go Baltimore to get the slight edge. This will come down to the wire, though. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. Pittsburgh lost 24-10 to Cincinnati. Ben Roethlisberger, 318, 1 touchdown and 2 pick. Najee Harris ran for 40 yards, had 14 catches for 102 yards receiving. Green Bay won a fun game at the last second against San Francisco, 30-28. Aaron Rodgers, 261 and 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 12 catches, 132 and a touchdown. Defensively, they had 3 sacks in that game. I think Green Bay is looking pretty good. I don't know what's wrong with Pittsburgh, but I think Green Bay should get the win. All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski returning to New England to face the Patriots. Tampa Bay unfortunately lost to the Rams 34-24. Brady, though, 41-55, 432, 1 touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown. Mike Evans, 8 catches, 106 yards. They had 446 yards of offense. Just their secondary, their whole defense, they couldn't breathe on Matt Stafford. They couldn't cover anybody. New England, though, lost to New Orleans 28-13. Mac Jones finally looked like a rookie, 270 passing, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions thrown. They outgained New Orleans by 48 yards, but they turned it over 3 times in that game. I think Tampa wins and wins pretty big. It's a big game for Brady. I think they're pissed off they just lost. I think their defense gets after Mac Jones, and I'm going to say Bucks beat the Patriots. All right, then the Monday night game between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. This should be a really fun game to watch. Las Vegas won. They beat Miami in overtime 31-28. Derek Carr, 386, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Peyton Barber ran for 111 and a touchdown. They had 497 yards of offense and recorded a safety. Defensively, the Chargers beat Kansas City 30-24. Justin Herbert is a really good quarterback. 281 passing, 4 touchdown passes. Mike Williams, 7 catches, 122, 2 touchdowns there. This is going to go back and forth. Chargers are picked by 3.5. I think that sounds I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards the Raiders. You know what? I'm gonna go with Raiders. I'm gonna say Raiders win that one. So those are my picks for the NFL game. Check out my college picks. Peace.